Up next, the Clippers taking on the Grizzlies. For Los Angeles, losing 7 out of their last 10 games has left a bad taste in their mouths. But tonight represents a new beginning, and they want to taste victory once again. Grizzlies, Clippers, up next on 2K Sports. Thanks for joining our Tuesday night broadcast of the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here, joined by our analysts Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. Plus, reporting from the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Thank you, Kevin. Paul George has shown over the years that he remains one of the most versatile stars in the league. He said, "I pride myself on being effective on both ends. I try to do it all. Play the right way and just get lost in the game. I'll do everything I can to win." And guys, there's still not much he can't do with his combination of size and athleticism.
David, he clearly is a special talent, and his resume shows it. Thank you. And a quick look at how the Grizzlies' schedule is shaping up. On Tuesday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then on Thursday, they'll go back home and they'll be hosting the Detroit Pistons.
And you know, nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
And the starting group for the Grizzlies. Adams at center with Jackson next to him. Then there's John Morant. Then it's Brooks. And it's Bane in at the shooting guard. And for the Clippers, the guard spots filled by Jackson and George. Baca is out there with Marcus Morris. And it's Zubac in at the center, locking down the middle. And Greg, people already predicting the MVP for this season. Is it too early to start talking about that?
I mean, we have roughly half a season left to play, yet people love to talk about sports, period, especially when it comes to the most prestigious individual award out there.
Now here's Jackson. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. And Adams kicks to Brooks. Just 4 to shoot. That one's off. He starts the game with a miss. And here's Los Angeles. Outside, George. To the middle. Here's Ibaka, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Well, Serge Ibaka has really worked on his frame since he entered the NBA. He is someone who can power his way through contact.
And Doris, we know that Paul George has always been a solid passer, but his assist numbers have been trending up.
Yeah, he's been willing of late to take on more playmaking responsibilities. The skill set was there. It's just early in his career, they needed him to be the lead scorer. Now you're talking about a guy you've got to game plan against as a scorer and as a passer.
And you know, we talk so much about Morant's athleticism, but his feel for the game equally as effective.
Now here's George. He's a guy we see deliver on a nightly basis, averaging about 24.5 points a game. For 3. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And bottom line, they found ways to score. Credit the game plan going in. It was right on the money.
And that's not an easy environment to play in. To score at the rate they did on the road says a lot about their intensity and focus.
Now here is George. Following the miss by John Morant.
And we all know what George brings offensively, but it's his ability as a defender that stands out. Great instincts to make plays on that end of the floor.
2 shots. And the first one drops.
One of the things that's been said before, but is so accurate, Paul George's ability to improve himself is really quite remarkable. This guy is always looking for ways to add to an already stellar game.
Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Eric Bledsoe comes in for Reggie Jackson. Now here's Melton. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Tillman passes to Melton. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That one on George.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And up to this point on the season, he's set a pace of right around 73% when he gets to the line.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Mann's checked in for Zubac, and it's Kennard in for Paul George.
Well, guys who are known as shooters are always ready on the catch. Luke Kennard, rise and fire.
Now here's Jones. He picked up 12 points in their last win against the Nets in Brooklyn. There's the drive.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in.
Fades and shoots, and that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Clippers lead by 2. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter.
All right.
And one of the better young two-way big men in the NBA, Jaren Jackson. He talked about how his defensive responsibilities grow.
Probably be more of a backline help, talk more, give more help for the rotations because, you know, depending on what team you play, there's a lot of specific things you got to do to guard a certain player.
Now with his 7'4" wingspan, Jackson has all the tools to be an elite rim protector.
But advanced understanding of positioning. His father was an NBA player, so he's been taught the game from a young age.
Morant.
And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
They just came into this game with the mindset of sharing the basketball.
When you keep everyone involved in the offensive end, it keeps everyone engaged in other areas as well.
So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Anderson and Jackson inside. Morant is out there with the Anthony Melton. And it's Brooks in at the 3 side. Jackson a screen on Kennard. Drives to the hoop. Melton's shot is good.
This is what we call highly efficient play. Working off the screen, getting to the cup.
Bledsoe against Morant. Bledsoe passes to Batum. The rebound by Anderson.
Boy, 9 times out of 10, that's going in. I'm sure he surprised himself with the miss.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Paul George has taken some heat in recent years. He says people get so caught up in what other folks think. I'm Paul George. I don't care to be anybody else. I am who I am. You love it or you don't. Simple as that. Guys, with his player on the floor, he has answered all his critics.
He is certainly playing at an elite level. EA, thank you. Morant against Bledsoe. Passes it to Batum. Ibaka with a screen on Anderson. And Batum kicks to Kennard. And another 3 for the Clippers.
Well, this is how Luke Kennard made his way to the NBA. The knockdown 3. Good night.
Jackson a screen on Bledsoe. Morant dishes to Jackson. Pass to Melton. He takes it in. It's hauled in by Los Angeles, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
Well, I felt like they were never on the same page defensively in that one. Gave up way too many easy shots.
You cannot allow your opponent to shoot that high a percentage. That is going to get you beat night after night.
And that bully ball mentality of Bledsoe, a rugged guard with outstanding body control. Fantastic finish.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Jackson against Ibaka. Anderson outside. Pass to Melton. No good from outside. Down deep. And no good on the last second attempt this time.
And that defensive versatility Jackson has is just incredible. Able to guard multiple positions due to that height and reach.
So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. The Clippers on top, leading by 3. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Here with Ty Lue, good rhythm for your offense in the first half. What did you like about the start?
Moving the basketball, taking the right shot, making the right play. We make the extra pass, we're a tough team to beat.
And you were sure tough in the first half, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
Hello and welcome. Let's get right into it. The story tonight is a tight matchup for the Clippers after 2 quarters.
The bench scoring has been a big key for them. They came in with energy, and they were able to give the starters a real break because of the way they perform. That's the kind of production every team hopes to have from their second unit.
And looking ahead tonight, here are the upcoming games we're looking forward to. The Pacers will square off against the Knicks in New York. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time is the tip-off.
That one's going to be pretty close, I think.
And that's all for us. Now it's time to send it back to Kevin Harlan for the beginning of the third quarter.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. And we see teams around the league trying to integrate star veterans with talented rookies. Greg, it's not always easy, is it?
Not at all, Kevin. And a lot of times it becomes a choice between win now or win later. Though the teams with great coaching and development can oftentimes do both.
The guard spots filled by Jackson and George. Baca is out there with Ivica Zubac. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Now here is George. Following the miss by Ja Morant. Can't cash in from close range. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Bane passes to Morant. Inside, releases, and the bank shot is good. Morant's got his third basket of the night right there.
And it just seems like Morant is always ready to outwork the defense. A big effort pays off for him there inside.
Now here's George. It's good. And the Clippers lead by 3.
Showing the quickness right there. Just tough to keep up with it.
Now here's Brooks. Guarded closer. Here's Adams. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Well, we all know Steven Adams is one of the most physical guys in the NBA. He is so solid at using his body to pick up fouls.
The Grizzlies shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well. Just about 75% from the line.
And the Grizzlies with some changes. Clark, he's checked in for Jackson. Conchar comes in for Brooks. And Tyus Jones subbed in for Morant.
You know, sometimes we bemoan the lack of physicality in the league these days. That is not something that applies to Mr. Steven Adams.
And that one goes out of bounds. Touched by Zubac.
That looks like a lack of focus. You've got to question what he was trying to accomplish there.
Eric Bledsoe's checked in for the Clippers. And Adams has got the ball here for the Memphis Grizzlies. It's a 1-point game. We've got 1:18 left in the third quarter. Kicks it out to Jones. Down low for the lead. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
Not how they hoped to start this half. 1 for 5, brick after brick. Let's start building the building.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, mid-range jumpers are something of a lost art these days. They're still practiced by superstars like Kawhi Leonard. Coach Ty Lue said, why not work on the shots that teams are giving up? Down the stretch, mid-range shots win games. Playoffs, too. If you shoot it at a high clip, it's just as good as a 3 for me. Guys?
And they do shoot it at a good clip, and they rely on it quite a bit. David, thank you. George. And Bane pulls it down.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
To the inside. Clark left side. The pass to Concho. Excellent D there from Bledsoe. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Grizzlies lead by 1. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
He's got the size to survey over the top of the defense and find the open man. That was beautiful.
It's a fourth quarter crowd.
Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. A moment now to reset the lineups, brought to us by Gatorade, all fueled up here for the fourth quarter. So on the 4 for Memphis. Brooks at the 3 with Jackson at the 4. DeAnthony Melton out there with John Morant. And it's Tillman in at the 5. Now here's Morant. At the elbow, it's Jackson. Back to Morant. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. And the Grizzlies lead by 3.
A true leader. You can tell Morant takes pride in stepping up when it matters most.
Outside, George. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Here's Mann. He's guarded by Melton.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
Here's George. Got a piece of it.
Rejected by Brooks. Part of why he's stuck as a second rounder. Dillon gives great effort on defense.
And the Clippers making a change here. Kennard's checked in. Anderson, he's checked in for Memphis. Memphis leading by 3. Morant outside. Driving the lane. Bucket is good.
The contact. Can't trip Morant up. He just glides past it and into his shot.
.137 left in the fourth quarter. Batum passes to Mann. Back to Batum. Jacks up a 3. Tillman grabs the miss.
If you want to cut into a lead, you have got to trust your teammates and move the ball.
Morant outside. With the drive. That shot no good. Some solid defense there from Jackson. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. Shoots a fader. That shot no good. And it's Memphis the other way. Morant outside. Rebound by the Clippers. Batum with the ball. He's picked up by Brooks. Jackson. Good! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
I'll tell you, one thing Jackson has never lacked. Confidence. I mean, when he gets a look, Reggie always believes his next shot will be his best one.
Your Clippers.
So, for the Clippers, Zubac is checked in for Terrence Mann. That comes in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Paul George in for Kennard. The Grizzlies also changing it up. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Tillman. And it's Bain in for Kyle Anderson. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, Taylor Jenkins just reviewed his plan with his team. And he's pushing them to empty the tank. He said, I know you're tired and it's been a tough game, but we can't hold back. If you're tired, come out. Otherwise, I want you full speed, guys.
Thanks, David.
Get loud for your Clippers Spirit.
George looking over the floor. Count it! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
What a move by Paul George. The versatility to get inside and score it.
And they commit an intentional foul. See another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Here are the Grizzlies with the ball. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
That's his first personal foul.
He hits the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
And expectations skyrocketed for Morant after the success of his rookie year. But if you ask me, he has risen to that challenge and continues to set a high bar for himself.
Yeah, the crucial part of those free throws is that it now makes it a 2-possession game.
All right, look who's coming onto the court. Come on, get loud for your Clippers Spirit.
George from deep three-point land. No good on the quick 3. And so they foul intentionally.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
Good on the first, and that increases their lead to 6.
And there's a flexibility to Brooks's game. He can play a specific role for you, or he can be a high-usage guy. Really depends on what a team needs from night to night.
9 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Jackson finds Zubac. And here's George for 3. It's money from deep.
It matters not if you're staying attached and connected to Paul George. He's got the height and release point to get it off anyway.
So a close game sees Memphis take this one. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And we've got David Aldridge standing by on our sideline with the player of the game. David, it's all yours.
Thanks very much, Ja. A lot of swag on this team tonight. Who's responsible for that confidence?
I feel like we all talk to each other, even the coaching staff. Coach let us play with a lot of freedom. Everybody have the green light, so I mean, there's no reason to lack confidence when you have a coach who believes in you every step of the way and just let you go out there and play your game. So we always just preach, keep shooting, make or miss, and we behind you. So.
You all look like a confident bunch, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. As we leave you with our New Balance player of the game, Ja Morant.